Okay, we are live.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to call the Board of Aldermen Special Virtual Meeting to order. If you would please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to call the Board of Aldermen Special Virtual Meeting to order. If you would please rise and join me. Got a television on or something in the background?
Eric.
Hello? Hey.
Okay, I'm going to do the roll call. We have John Ingles, Eric McPherson.
Here.
Chris Belmacy.
Here.
David Gidwani.
Here.
Gary Kude. Sorry McGordy.
Here.
Anthony Simonetti, present. Bernie Simons. Bernie Simons. Okay. All right, this will take us to the public portion. Anyone wishing to address the public, want to address the board, please do so by stating your name and address for the record. Anyone from the public? Hearing no one from the public, we'll move on to minutes for approval. Item number 1, minutes for approval is a special virtual meeting to address the public.
After reading and approve the special virtual meeting of November 12th, 2020. So moved.
Second. Motion by Anglais, seconded by Simonetti. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Are there any noes? Are there any noes? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. Item 5, Finance Committee meeting, 5.2, Public Health and Safety Committee meeting, and 5.3, Street Committee. There are no items. There's no report from me.
I just want to, the board of aldermen congratulates State Representative Jason Perello on his appointment as Deputy House Republican Leader in the Connecticut General Assembly. And we also congratulate Senator Kevin Kelly on his appointment as Senate Republican Leader. We expect their positions of leadership in the Connecticut General Assembly will ensure that the views of constituents will be heard throughout the upcoming legislative session. It might appear to be a little early, but we also take this opportunity to wish everyone a COVID-19 free Merry Christmas and safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Thank you.
Item number 6 is legal report. Item 6.1, Corporation Council building.
Move to authorize a total payment of $1,406.25 to Corporation Council to those who stand services never earned, but we also take this opportunity to fund the funds to cover the legal fees they have to result in safe. Happy New Year.
Made and seconded by Simonetti. Any discussion? Item number 6 is legal report. Item 6.1, Corporation Council building. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing no opposed, motion passes unanimously. Item 6.2 is the Assistant Corporation Council building.
Move to authorize a total payment
Bernard Simons.
Join the meeting.
50 cents to Assistant Corporation Counsel Thomas Galvin Carter for services rendered per statement dated December 3rd, 2020, with funds to come from the following.
Made. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Simonetti. Discussion.
I guess the things coming from the legal fees.
Yes, sorry.
A lot of help in these meetings, Tom. I've been trying to do it for 30 years. All in favor? Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, motion passes unanimously. Item number 7, legislative hold. Item 7.1A, there are no items for public hearing. To item number 8, financial business hold. Item 8.1 is funding for additional police vehicle expenses. $807.60 for police vehicle expenses, with funding to come from automatic bonding pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter. So moved. Second. Motion is made and seconded by Del Macy. Discussion. Bernie Simons, I think you need to put your phone on mute.
Okay.
Okay, is there any discussion? Additional funding for police vehicles. This is for the lights and radios for the new vehicles. You may remember that we appropriated a sum of $150,000 to purchase vehicles back at the end of last fiscal year, and this is the last piece. All in favor? Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, motion passes unanimously. Just for the record, the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota, defunded their police department by $8 million, and crime is on the rise. Good luck. Item number 9, financial business new, 9.1, December statutory refunds.
Move that the report of the tax collector relative to the refund of taxes for a total amount of $13,535.04 be approved, and that the finance director be directed to make payments in accordance with the certified list received from the tax collector, with funds to come from the statutory refunds account. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded by Simonetti. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, motion passes unanimously. This takes us to item number 9.3, funding for professional services for Shelter Bridge Review, payment to go to Civil One Incorporated.
Move to appropriate an amount of $25,000 for Civil One Inc. professional engineering services invoice dated September 30th, 2020 for the Shelter Bridge Review, with funding to come from contingency general account. So moved.
Second.
Second. Motion is made and seconded by Del Macy. Any discussion?
Was that in conjunction with inland wetlands?
It was an inland wetland expense.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing no opposed, motion passes unanimously. This takes us to item number 9.4, the over expenditure for various departmental accounts.
Move to authorize the over expenditure of the employee resources unemployment compensation city account through the end of fiscal year 2020-2021. That's it. You want to take them separately, or you want to do the whole thing?
No, just identify the accounts.
So B, want to take B, move to authorize you to expend the police department's records administration account through the end of fiscal year 2020-21. And move to authorize the expenditure of the following elections account through the end of fiscal year 2020-21.
Minetti, discussion.
And
We have to also include the last one, poll workers for primary.
He said poll workers, he
I
didn't say
didn't hear
postage.
it, okay.
He didn't say
Thank you.
postage.
I want to raise a question here. What about authorizing, miscellaneous client analysis bank charges? That's $3,541, that's currently overdrawn. As I understand it, we never had to put money in the budget for this because we received money from the bank in interest on the money we had invested in there. But that interest rate is so low that now we're incurring expenses, so perhaps we should authorize that as well to be overexpended, because it's going to be more charges. We're going to have to do every year. Include that?
Is that currently overdrawn now?
Yes, it is, $3,540 overdrawn. That's the client analysis.
Well, I don't know that he's netted it out over, because to your point a moment ago, it's an accounting, transaction, and they usually net these expenses out, but it's clear that we're gonna incur more expenses as the year goes on. I mean, you can do it now, or you can do it in a couple of months, it really doesn't matter.
So if we're doing this now, let's clean it up. We'll authorize the overexpenditure, because we're not gonna receive the interest. The interest rate is so low, it's too low to cover the costs. And other years, it already covered the costs. This is an unforeseen thing, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna get more.
Would it be beneficial because it's year end to do it now?
So I guess in order to do it, we would have to add it to the agenda. You can't add anything to the agenda.
Right.
Okay, then we'll have to do it later on. But at least be aware that it's an issue. So moved.
Yeah, okay.
Second.
Any further discussion? I have the wrong backup in front of me. It's a little confusing here. You can't really see it.
Want to see this?
No, that's even more confusing. All right, here it is. What was this, 9.5 that we're on?
9-4.
9.4, over expenditures. Yeah, I have an old package, that's why. No, this is the only one that was a little complicated, because there were multiple items. Okay, so, we have a motion on the floor, seconded, and discussion. We have discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Okay, this takes us to item number 9.5, transfer from contingency general account to charter revision account.
Move to transfer an amount of $306 from contingency general account to legislative department charter revision account. So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
Yeah, I got a similar observation here, and I know that what we just talked about, can't add it to the agenda, but I just want to make you aware that there's $468 that has to be transferred from contingency to the maintenance, department, property maintenance for tools, to cover excess in tools until we're gone. But we'll do that in the future as well.
Yeah, I don't know that we need to do that. This one here, I'm looking at the motion, and Fran, I know you're on the line, it says, move to transfer from contingency general to, the charter revision account. All we have to do is, I think the motion is more appropriately stated by saying that we're gonna appropriate the money to pay the bill. Because I don't think you can transfer at this point in time from one department to another. Or is contingency general not in that category?
I agree.
So we should, amend the motion to say that we will appropriate the amount of $306 for the purpose of paying the clerk for charter revision.
Okay, from where?
From contingency general.
No, you will get a general fund surplus, but it's already in the budget in contingency general, so therefore you wouldn't appropriate it, you would take it from there and transfer it.
So you would move to make the payment from contingency general.
Right, so we transfer it from contingency general.
We're not transferring it.
Well, yes, we are, it's already in the contingency general.
We don't need to transfer, we just need to authorize the payment on the
Yeah, well,
contingency.
that's a transfer. You gotta get it into that, you gotta get it into the legislative department. No.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't think you can transfer to the charter revision. I think you can pay out contingency general like we historically do.
Are you saying that it's closed?
Money exists, the contingency general account has $116,100 in it. It's got that much money in it. So all we need to take out of there is the $306 and move it over into, charter revision account. An appropriation would increase the size of the total amount of the budget, and be taken outside the budget. So, using the word appropriate. So we've got the money already in there, we just have to authorize a transfer of the money from contingency general to.
Fran, did you weigh in on?
I can't, hello?
Go ahead, Fran.
John, I think you're talking about semantics. If the money comes out of the general, what is your jargon here? The general contingency fund is just paid directly. It's never appropriated over.
No, the money is already in the budget under an account
John, everybody knows that. We know that. But we have made payments of other items out of contingency general.
Yeah.
That's what I'm suggesting we do here. We just take it. And I'm telling you, I don't think you can transfer it.
The charter.
You can't transfer it during the fiscal year.
I'll read it to you from the charter.
Fran, do you agree or disagree with that? Can't transfer during the middle of the year.
I disagree that you can transfer line items during the year. I'm waiting for John to quote what he's going to quote.
We're not transferring. The Board of Apportionment and Taxation per charter has the authority to transfer to line items within a departmental budget. We have the authority to transfer from one account in the budget to another account, and we're taking it from contingency, which is one account, already in the budget, transferring to another account, which is charter revision, already in the budget. It's a simple transfer. We're authorized to do that for charter.
I think you're only authorized to do that in the last month of the fiscal year.
No, we aren't. Not from contingency. Okay.
Do you have a budget right in front of you?
It says, to your point about the last 30 days of your fiscal year. During the last 30 days of the fiscal year, the Board of Aldermen, on the recommendation of the Finance Director, may transfer unexpended and unencumbered balances from one departmental appropriation to another, provided that the transfer shall be made in the departmental budget if the department head certifies in writing to the Board of Aldermen that any remaining monies are required for the necessary operation of his or her department, and further provided further that no transfer shall be made in the appropriation of the Board of Education. Now, what I'm saying, and I'm trying to find in here, the contingency account is put in the budget and set up specifically to deal with contingencies that arise through the fiscal year. And the charter, I'm looking for the specific language, allows us to transfer money from the contingency account.
We make payments.
Charter also allows you to pay bills.
Make payments out of the contingency account is what we do. We don't transfer it.
Okay,
We just did it not too long ago, did we not? The contingency, Teresa, do you remember that? The one we did last month?
Yes.
I forget, what department, what was that for? Time, I would entertain a amendment to the motion that states to the effect that we are making payment out of contingency general for the over-expended bill from the Charter Revision Commission Secretary minutes.
Second.
Motion no, that would be a motion.
Make the motion, right?
Make the motion that the mayor has requested.
So moved. So.
Motion is made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on this motion? We're paying a bill that was expended out of last year's budget. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, motion passes unanimously. Okay, now item 9.6 is the same discussion we just had. Item 9.6 is the payment of the balance on the fire department pension to be paid out of contingency general.
These bills are for last year.
Move to transfer, I'll read the motion. Move to transfer an amount of $644 from contingency general account to the fire department's pension incentive board's account.
Second for discussion.
And that actually falls in the same category. You're transferring into a department. And as I stated earlier, I don't think that we can do that. I think the more appropriate motion is to authorize payment out of contingency general for the balance that is due on the fire department pension payment.
If I may, when was the bill incurred? Before June 1st?
That would be for this year's bill,
2020. So after July 1st.
right? Right.
Okay.
That's, the payment was short that amount, and that's based on a calculation that the person that holds the pension for the fire department and reviewed by the pensions commission, came up. It's different every year. Some years it's less, some years it's more, some years
9.5 and 9.6. The intent here is to cover those overdrawn accounts. And council should look it up and be sure to tell us, give us an opinion, whether we handle it right and we didn't handle it right. If we didn't handle it right, we'll come back next month and do it over again, do whatever is necessary.
You want to table it, John?
No, I don't want to table it.
Both of those items are one-time payments.
Yeah, that's right.
And one was due from a payment from last year's budget, which everyone knows has come and gone.
We're just trying to clean up, business as we go along, and it has to be taken care of.
Normally, we would do this stuff at the end of the year,
Right.
but there's an urgency this year, so we're doing it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 9.7 is the waiver of bid and funding for fireworks.
Move for the recommendation of the purchasing agent to waive the bidding process for the purchase of fireworks in the amount of $10,000, with funding to come from contingency general account.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
This is for the holidays.
Is it the same as the other?
This is a new expenditure and a new thought for New Year's Eve / New Year's Day, depending on the weather, that we would do fireworks to send out 2020 and give people a little uplifting for 2021, as opposed to what we've all been through the pandemic that has what's the right word I'm looking for?
Crazy.
Put us all in,
Give us a little relief.
I don't know. It's, I guess for lack of better words, it's a change of scenery. People like fireworks. It's the holidays. We're starting a new year, and let's get rid of 2020 because it hasn't been what we in America and around the world have been used to. I hope you think that it's a worthy and good idea.
Mayor, I think it's a great idea. It really is. We all need some uplifting. It's been just a horrible year for many people, and we've gone through it as a city. I totally agree with you.
I agree also, Your Honor.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
I agree with everything except I don't want to spend the money.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, motion passes unanimously. Item 9.8 is the waiver of bid renovation for women's pool locker room showers.
Move for the recommendation of the purchasing agent to waive the bidding process for the renovation of the women's pool locker room showers at the community center.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
From what I've read here, this work appears is going to be done internally by our people in-house.
And that's true. There have been some unanticipated costs associated with materials that we didn't plan for, and we're trying to get this work done while that portion of the building is still closed. Because like everyone else, we anticipate that the world will open back up in 2021 and we'll be in full service, and we just think that this is the right opportunity to get these things done and take advantage of the downtime for our building facilities. Item 9.9 on this agenda, which is coming up next, is in the same category for what I just said.
But it appears also that, the work's gonna be done internally, and this is just a waiver, so it's just for materials cost.
Correct.
And you're not asking for any money.
There's no money anticipated right now. We think that there's enough in our budget to cover it.
Okay.
But the work is gonna get done, it's already in progress, and the shower stalls in the women's locker room and the men's locker room have outlived their useful life, and, this is an upgrade. And we're also upgrading the plumbing, the faucets, the heads, the valves.
Are these by any chance going to be virtual showers? That's a pun.
Well, you better be careful, because, you're insinuating, people Down syndrome. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Item 9.9 is the waiver of bids for the key fobs for City Hall.
Move for the recommendation of the purchasing agent to waive the bidding process for the purchase of a new PFOB system for City Hall, and to add it to the capital improvement plan in the amount of $15,169, with funding to come from Rosen.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion?
This is an intriguing undertaking. I'd be interested in hearing a little bit more about what it's all about.
Well, what's intriguing is people's behavior that has changed dramatically since the day we took office 30 years ago. And the things that come through these City Hall doors and the requests that some of our department heads get, my office in particular, just leave us shaking our heads like, you gotta be kidding me. And so, in this day and age, and not only that, to control the flow of people in and out of our offices because of the COVID-19 virus, this will certainly help do that. And we've been talking about a security issue at our buildings for years, and again, this is the opportunity to do that. There's going to be a lot of work going on in this building in the next couple of weeks, particularly in the town clerk's office upstairs on the 3rd floor. In fact, the building may even be shut for an entire week to try to get some of this work done. We're going to try to do an overhaul of the town clerk's office, for which you made an appropriation a couple of months back. But, with the impending election, it was impossible to do it before that, and so I'm thinking that the week between Christmas and New Year's, that we will close the building completely so that we can get this work done.
Your Honor, will this system record when a person comes in and out? You'll know who's coming in and out?
I think it has all the bells and whistles, but I'm not the person to ask that question. Teresa, you may know better than I am.
There was an audit trail on it.
May I intervene for a moment, please?
All right, Dan, go ahead.
All right, with the key fob system, yes, there will be an audit trail of every time a fob is used to enter the building. At any time that report can be requested, we print it out, and it will show, like I said, any time a fob was used to get in and out. The building will actually always be in a lockdown mode, where nobody can get in from the outside unless they are either buzzed in or they use their fob. So with this system, what will happen is somebody will walk up, they'll ring a doorbell. It'll be just like going to any of the schools or Board of Ed administrative building where you hit a buzzer, somebody acknowledges you, and then they buzz you right in, and we can funnel all traffic through to, I guess the overall plan is to put someone right down in the main hallway who will then direct the person to the necessary department that they need to go to.
that exterior door, entry fob or whatever, does it have any capability, any camera video that the person would recognize the person, or it's just all?
Nope, there will be integrated video as well.
Thank you.
Integrated to come at a later date.
Actually, no, the integration is part of the access control system. It's all one unit. And again, all of the work will be done in-house. This is going to be just like the renovation of the locker room, where it's materials only.
All right, any other questions?
Well, when I come into the building, will I have to go through the button and the front door and be acknowledged, or will I have some identification that I can?
Things like that are yet to be determined, so I wouldn't want to speculate or have anyone else speculate on what individuals have accessibility via a key fob. But it's possible that all of our employees will have key fobs so that they can, because we know who they are and we know the background, and they're required to be here. So, some board and commission members may also be in that category. Well, I don't think we've decided that yet.
So that's all to be determined.
Right. The goal is to get the building secured so that we can control access not only for security purposes, but for the coronavirus movement of people.
Move the question.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, the motion passes unanimously. Takes us to item number 10, legislative new. There are no items of public hearing. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session and request that the corporation counsel and assistant corporation counsel join us.
Could we also, so we should be sure that it's not inadvertently live streamed, so you can watch it with a technology?
I don't think that's necessary.
Would you like to invite Mr. Basher?
Yeah, he can stay in there. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 All right, give me 30 seconds to end the live stream, please.
Are there any opposed? Hearing no opposed, motion passes